Wow. Finally finished up my first video. I hope you guys really enjoy it. It's a 3-part class. First part's going to be warm-ups, eye exercises. Second part, core workouts, a lot of cool poses, and then we're going to finish it off with some meditation. So let's just hop right into it. Okay, so we are starting today's class off with 3 big breaths. Big inhale, fill up the lungs, and go ahead and release with the exhale. And then one more time, big inhale. Slowly start to fill your lungs up like a big balloon. Feel the expansion. Hold at the top, and exhale. Good. Okay, so now we're going to jump right into it with some eye exercises. So starting to look all the way up, take your gaze slowly to the bottom, all the way down. Do this a few times, all the way up, and all the way down. So you want to make sure not to move your head here. We're only moving our eyes. Do that a couple more times, and then we're going to start looking left and right. All the way left and all the way right. Okay, very good. So now what we want to do is take our eyesight in a diagonal direction. So we're going to start by looking at the top left corner of your eyes, wherever that may be, and then taking it down to the bottom right corner of your eyesight. So top left, and then bottom right. And now we're going to switch it up, so top right, down to bottom left. So still here in a diagonal line, just going back and forth from one corner to the other. And now we're going to pretend we have a clock. So take your eyesight from where the 12 hand on the clock would be. So all the way up top, and then we're going to move in a clockwise direction. So we're going to stop at every hour. Starting with 12, we're going to go look at 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the bottom, 7, coming back up, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12 right up top again. So from here, we're going to go in a anti-clockwise motion. So 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, made a big jump, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back up top, 12. And we're going to take one big inhale, let it out. And that's pretty much it for the eye exercises. We're going to move on to the next segment. So this is our sun salutations. We're going to start with our hands in a prayer position, or having both our palms together, bringing our arms all the way up and into a forward fold. From here, you're going to take your left foot, step it all the way back, followed by your right, and come down to a push-up. Start to extend your body all the way up, placing your palms underneath your elbows, bringing your chest up to a cobra, hips back into our first downward dog. Then you're going to take your left foot, step it all the way in between your hands, followed by your right foot, swing your arms up to the sky, and then back to prayer palms. Bring your Hands out in front of you, up to the sky again, big extension, forward fold. Take your right foot now, step it all the way back, followed by your left foot. Hips nice and high, swing it back. If you need to take a few steps here, feel free to. The goal here really is to have flat feet, so you want the back of your foot and the front of your foot to be nice and flat. And this helps with the getting there. So now we're taking our palms underneath our elbows, bringing our chest up, neck up for a cobra, push back up, hips back, and we're back into a downward facing dog. So you want to relax the neck here, step your right foot in between your hands, followed by your left foot. Arms swing back up again, big extension, and then back to prayer hands. Arms out in front of you, big extension, up to the ceiling, down to the ground. Step your left foot back, followed by your right. Come down to a push-up. Start to peel your forehead off the mat, then your chest. Upward dog here. Make sure your feet are nice and flat. And then push back into a downward facing dog. Again, just kicking the feet here, walking, taking a few steps just to get that tension out of the ankles, out of the calves. And when you're ready, step your left leg in between your hands, followed by your right foot. Arms up to the sky one more time, prayer hands. Arms in front of you, back to the sky, down to the ground. Right foot steps back now. Good. And followed by your left foot. Downward facing dog. Palms nice and flat onto the mat. Feet are nice and flat. Neck is relaxed. And just breathing here. Coming down to a push-up position. Make sure your palms are right underneath your elbow. Shoulders are nice and tight. And then coming back to a downward facing dog. Stepping right foot now in between your hands, coming up. Last one, prayer hands, and that's our sun salutations. So we're now moving on to the cobra. The cobra, you're going to have, like I said earlier, your palms are underneath your elbows. Your elbows are nice and tight into your body, and you're going to peel your forehead off the mat. So slowly start to lift your forehead, the chest comes off the mat, feet are nice and flat. No. And just continuing to breathe here. So we're going to do this a few rounds of these cobras. So go ahead and just in between, you can relax, take your neck out to one side, and we're going to hop right back into it. Palms underneath the elbows, like I said. Forehead's coming up, nice and elevated. And if you're holding any tension in the neck, you want to go ahead and just try to release that. Try to loosen up here. We're going to go for one more cobra. So like I said, we don't want any tension in the neck. We'll have a nice and relaxed neck here. So now we're bringing our arms and we're going to tuck our palms underneath our groin area. So palms facing towards the ceiling here. We're going to take our left leg and start to lift it up off the mat. And ideally you want like about 6 inches off the mat is fine, but whatever you feel comfortable with. And then we're going to switch feet here, start to lift your right foot off the mat. And I know it looks a little weird, but you want your forehead on the mat here. As we lift both our legs now. This is the locust pose. So now we're starting to feel a bit more of the challenging part of this yoga session here. Because we do want to challenge ourselves to find and explore our limitations here. So if you feel a shake, that's good. That's what we want. We want to invite the shake, the challenge, if you know what I mean. So still lifting our legs up, we're going to come down. Go ahead and relax a little bit. Bring your head out to one side. Because we are not done. We're going for another round. Lifting our legs up, nice and high. Keep it about 6 inches off the ground here. But you want to make sure you're still checking in with your breath. You're still breathing. You're still nice and calm here. And we're going to move on to a little bit of preparation for our next pose here. So start to kick your left heel towards your butt. Go ahead and grab your left ankle with your left hand. Go ahead and give that a pull. If you feel like you're ready, go ahead and lift your left knee off the ground. If not, you can leave it nice and flat on the mat. Go ahead and release the left ankle. Start to kick the right heel towards the butt, grabbing your right ankle with your right hand. And like I said, for those who are flexible or able, go ahead and lift your right knee off the mat here. Good. So now we're going to take both of our heels, kick them towards our buttocks, grab both ankles, and start to push your feet away from you. This is going to cause your chest to rise, your head to rise, and this is what we want. This is the bow pose here. And you're just breathing, getting in tune with yourself as we release. Head comes out to one side, just relaxing here for a bit, taking this moment to chill out. As we start to come up for our second bow. Grabbing the left ankle first, then the right, and extending our feet towards the back wall. And you can go ahead and release here. Bring your head out to the opposite direction now. Finding a few moments of relaxation before we get into our third bow pose. So here we go. Left heel comes up, followed by the right heel, grabbing both ankles, starting to extend up. Now, if you're not able to grab onto the ankles, go ahead and just lift your feet up and extend your arms towards your feet. You don't have to necessarily grab them if you're not ready yet. And then from here, we're going to start to post our hands on the mat and swing our hips backwards onto our knees into a child's pose. So nice flat palms onto the mat. Extend your fingers, spread your fingers out, really get a good feel for the mat, the ground and the floor that's supporting you. And we're coming to here a tabletop position, and we're going to do a bit of core and ab work and the fun stuff. So extending your right leg out, accompanied by your left hand. So you're going to inhale right here on the extension, and exhale when you meet your knee and elbow. Inhale, exhale on the contraction. Inhale on the extension, exhale on the contraction. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Now we're going to switch sides. We're going to rotate our hips here. Do a few hip rotations in both directions. And then we're going to switch sides. So now we're taking your left leg, extending that out with your right hand, coming in. Inhale on the extension, remember, exhale on the contraction. Do this a few more times. Beautiful. And then don't forget your hip rotations out one way and then bring it the other direction. Very good. And now we're going to move on to our next position, which is the plank. Fairly simple. You want to post your elbows right underneath your shoulders. Extend both legs out and just lift here, making sure you have a nice straight body. You're not dipping your hips into the mat or kind of pushing out towards the sky. You want a nice flat body. And for those who want a little bit more of a workout, we're going to go ahead and post our hands where our elbows are. So start with your left hand, post that where your left elbow is, followed by your right, and coming back to your elbows. And just do a few rounds of these, maybe 5 rounds, whatever feels right, whatever you feel like you can handle today. And then of course coming to a nice little relaxation pose. Because we're going to go ahead and do another round. You guessed it. Okay, we post up on our elbows. And then we're going to replace our elbows here with our hands. Coming out to a nice push position and then back to the plank. And again, this is just for those who want to go above and beyond and kind of push their limits. If your limit is a regular plank, that's more than understandable. Go ahead and just do the regular plank. There's no harsh feelings, you know. I know the plank isn't necessarily the easiest pose. And once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and get back into our child's pose here. Kind of checking back in with our breath, seeing how we're feeling after a few more poses. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to come to a seated position with both of your feet out in front of you. And then we're going to take our right knee, bend it in towards our chest, give it a nice little hug, and then guide it down so that your right foot is posted on the inner left thigh. Then you're going to bring your hands, come up to the sky, and fold them over your left foot here. Just relaxing here, really. Relax the neck. Make sure there's no tension there. Kind of just let everything hang down. Let gravity do its thing. Take a few more breaths. Coming back up, releasing the foot out in front of you, and then taking your left knee and bringing it towards your chest. Start to guide it down towards the mat. Left foot is on the inner right thigh. As our arms come up and we fold forward. Again, just taking this moment to check in with ourselves, how we're feeling in this moment. And then whenever you're ready, start to slowly come back up to a straight spine. Release the left leg now. Both feet should be in front of you, arms up to the sky. And then we're going to fold forward one more time. Okay, now slowly coming back up and down to a nice flat back. We're going to do some leg lifts. So with both feet together, we're going to lift them up to a 90-degree angle, coming down on an exhale. So coming up on the inhale and down on the exhale. And we're going to do a few of these, so go ahead and just repeat that a few times. Inhale up and exhale down. And you want to make sure that it's nice and controlled. So you don't want to throw your feet down. It should be nice and tight. So on this one, we're going to kick our legs up, post our hands on our lower back for support, and we're coming into our shoulder stand. So this is actually really good for our circulation. Our bodies are used to, blood flowing from our brains, our hearts down to our feet, but this kind of shakes things up a little bit as the blood flows down from your feet to your head, to your brain. And again, you want to just breathe here, just sync up with your breath, notice the quality of your breath here. And for those who are having a little bit of trouble with this pose, you can always post a pillow behind your back for support. And then when you're ready, go ahead and start to lower your feet above your head here, and then post your arms outwards. This here is called the plow pose. And I know not everyone can get here, so if it's not possible for you today, go ahead and just swing your feet over. We're going to meet at a flat back here. And we're coming into our corpse pose. So feet, give your feet some space. Your arms as well. So it's a bit of a snow angel here. And if you'd like, there's also the option of putting your left palm onto your heart center and your right palm right in between your stomach. And just finding a few breaths here, completely relaxing onto the ground here. Zero tension, zero worries. It's just you and your breath. Shavasana. Okay, and then we're starting to come back here into our body, into this moment. We start to wiggle the fingers, start to wiggle your toes, stretch outwards if you want, like you're just waking up out of bed. And we're gonna meet at a seated position. So crisscross applesauce, legs out in front of you, whatever feels right. If you want to grab a pillow, go ahead and do that now. Because we are gonna be seated for a while here. So just doing a few breaths to start to check back in with the breath here. Taking some inhales through the nose, out the mouth. And we are going to jump into some pranayama. So take both your middle finger and your pointer finger and go ahead and place that in between your eyes. Give that a little massage there. And then you're going to take your thumb, go ahead and cover your right nostril. Inhale through your left nostril. And then with your pinky, cover your left nostril. Exhale through your right. So just switching from one nostril to the other. Inhale through your right nostril. Cover your right nostril with your thumb. Exhale through your left nostril. Inhale through your left nostril. Cover your left nostril. Exhale through your right nostril. Just repeating this cycle a few times. Now, this is a good technique for relaxation, for purifying the sinuses, allowing for a more clear pathway of breath. And now, with your eyes closed, you want to place your palms onto the tops of your knees. And I want you to focus solely on your breath. As your inhalation expands, your chest starts to come out, fill up like a balloon, and it starts to deflate as you exhale out your nostrils. So just becoming a little bit more aware of what it is to breathe, the physical sensations of breath, what it feels like to intake air, maybe that cool rush you get on the inhale, and that warm feeling on the exhale. And as you continue to breathe here, you become a little bit more aware of your surroundings. Start to notice the subtle sounds around you, what makes up your environment. And then coming back to the breath, the inhale, the exhale. And if you feel like you're getting distracted with thoughts, that's okay. Just allow yourself to come back to the breath here. And again, you're only observing here. You're not judging as thoughts come in and out of your consciousness. Just simply observe it. Notice that you're having the thought, and then come back to the breath. The inhale and the exhale. Okay, now whenever you're ready, slowly start to come back into this moment. You can peel your eyes open. And welcome back. I just want to quickly give a thank you to all of you who are watching and that have allowed me to guide you in today's class. I thank you very much, and namaste.